Okay, so another arpeggio, another thing I like to do in that world that we can kind of source in that same spot is this shape I kind of stumbled upon around the time I was learning how to sweep pick. Because I didn't have a teacher or learn it the right way, I ended up, like I said earlier, kind of finding my own way. So here's the shape. We're going to still do it out of G minor, or G major, but we're going to start it on the A note. So this is one everybody should learn, or a version of this kind of 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So it's going to look like this. 6th string, real slow. You can see it just kind of starts to roll, starts to feel really good under your fingers. It's not the craziest shape in the world, but if you watch this hand, it's a little bit trickier. So I'm going down and then middle finger. Down, middle finger, down, middle fingers. Down, middle finger, down. Anyway. Major version. So you can do a diminished version. And you can do all sorts of ridiculous stuff. You can even do, like, see if I can stretch it out. I don't know what that was. So that kind of thing, I would say maybe it would work over the 2 or the 6 in whatever key you're in. Let's say you're in A minor. Or over the D minor. You get like A minor. Cool. Same shape, just moved around. So within that realm too, there's another technique that shows up all the time in my playing. You know, this is one of the reasons why I mentioned I'm left-handed. I find that my middle finger tends to pick up a lot of slack when I'm playing, especially some of these arpeggio lines. You know, if I was doing something like this, my middle finger's all over the place. So it's sort of taking the role of an upstroke when I'm crossing a string. So we're going to stay in G. And the one thing I want you to get into with hybrid picking and arpeggios and just really making the most out of a simple little idea is you're going to play the root, the 5th, skip a string, and then the 3rd. So for off the root note here, it'll look like that. But just for the sake of being a little bit more melodic, I'm going to move it up to here. Probably one of the more notorious people to use this technique is Nick Johnston. But I'm basically just going to be taking the scale and I'm just going to work my way through root, 5th, and 3rd. So, for example, and these are still obviously considered arpeggios because it's just a triad, a root, 3rd, and a 5th. For context, just even playing through them, getting that technique down, that down, down, down middle for some reason, and in a bit more of a musical context. If I was trying to use that, let's say E minor, I would literally start my line off. Then I might try and play something in E minor pentatonic, just to tie it together. I'll try and play it into another arpeggio, so. So with, having a little bit more strength in your left hand, starting to see how these arpeggios connect, having those two worlds come together, especially finding out what technique really works for you, even if it's kind of weird for somebody else. Leaning into what makes you special as a guitar player is definitely the name of the game here. And for me, it's arpeggios, tension, hybrid picking, and sometimes playing way too fast.